Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks, and this is part 2. And if you didn't watch part 1, you might want to watch part 1 of the layered art. We're going to do something that looks like this that I took a picture of Facebook. He did a really good job. I'm not going to take the time in the video to get all this detail, but you'll get the idea how to do it. And in the first one, we did the first layer, the top layer. Now we're doing the second layer, and the turtle's going to have a backing on it. So I clipped art some grass, and I'm just going to kind of put it in there. And there's really no way to weld this. You know, you could spend a lot of time trying to figure out. So the best thing to do is just virtual segment delete key. We want that to look like that. We want the circle to continue, and that might look pretty cool. And we want the seagrass to stay. I went too far. That one looked like it was sticking over a little bit. That won't really matter. Now around the fish, and because this is layered, you don't have to worry about these things breaking off because they're going to be inside of something. We want to get rid of the grasses in the fish and around the turtle, so it'll make it kind of look like it's just, and you got to remember it's going to be backed up with a turtle. So we want all this interior stuff gone. We don't want to cut that turtle. And you just kind of use your imagination here. And I think we have it. Let's zoom in here a little bit. You never really know till you really cut it. Let's see what that looks like. That won't really work, but that'll be a double cut. The turtle will be backed up by that, but we don't want that either. I'm going to say we're going to take away all this part of the seagrass, because you can still see the seagrass. So that looks pretty good. Now, well, we need to do one more thing, because that's going to cut out and can be completely gone. You got to think about things like that. And it looks like there's a double line there, and there kind of is. But I'm going to take it, use the shape tool. Whoop. And join these two nodes. I'm going to just select them and right click and close curve. Whoop, that didn't work. So what you can do is grab the shape tool and grab those both, go to Windows, Dockers, join curves, and now they're joined. It's all one piece. So that's going to look pretty cool. We've got a couple extra nodes, and you could probably smooth some things out. Like that's a broken node. We can do the same thing. Hold down your shift key, select both of them, and join them. Even though it's going to cut it out, it's going to be okay. We've got a double node there, so we'll just delete it. I don't like the way this looks, but it is joined. We can take it and put a little bit of curve to it. So I'm going to call that the second layer. And I can't really smart fill it because you won't be able to tell anything because it'll all be, well, you can. That's what it's going to look like, the second layer. And when I'm done with this, I'm going to share this. So we're going to Control G and group it together, and we're going to nudge it down. Then we're going to nudge another one right back in. I'm using the nudge. I haven't changed it to 7 inches. Now we're going to bring in the fish. And I'm not going to do probably but 4 layers. And I'm going to take the fish and just put it up there. And because it's a layer, it probably doesn't need to be that strong because it's going to be inside. So just take your virtual segment delete key, and basically all you're doing is allowing the wood to absorb. So that's what it's going to look like. So this, and then on the last one, I'm just going to have a square piece of wood to back it up. So it's just going to be really 3 layers with a backup. I'm actually going to go out and cut this out and make sure it works, and then I'm going to share it. And feel free to use it, but you can do a lot better and spend a lot more time. So let's just kind of see what it's going to look like. Let's smart fill this one in. Let's go over here and use a blue. So smart fill, go over and get your eyedropper. Let's get this light blue and fill that in. Let's go smart fill, eyedropper, and get a little bit different blue and fill that in. Let's go smart fill, eyedropper, and get a darker blue and fill in our next layer. Let's get the smart fill and let's get the eyedropper. And the reason I'm not using the eyedropper because I can see the colors. And let's do a light green on this one. Now, what I would do before I do anything, I'm going to Control D and make a duplicate, and I'm going to move those over so I don't mess up. And I'm pretty sure this is in the center of the page. So I'm going to just nudge this one over, and it worked. I'm going to nudge this one up. Well, that's not even our second one. Here's our second one, and here's our third one. That's what it's going to look like. Of course, it's not going to be in color, but you can see the turtle. The dark blue will be basically another piece of plywood. So this will just be layers of plywood, and you could do multiple layers. So I'm going to cut this out, and then I'm going to post it on Facebook if you want to cut it out and see how to do it. And then later on you could do your own, because it's really pretty simple. Anyway, I hope that helped a little bit. Thank you for watching.